Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here to race number 19 of the fourth season of the NR2003 Red Bull GT Series. Getting set for today's race, the 27 lappers we have here on tap for this race weekend. You basically saw the starting grid based off this morning's qualifying session we had in addition to Gorgon qualifying. If you didn't tune into that, we talked about that this series will have qualifying for the rest of the year to determine who will be on the pole for the remaining races starting here this weekend at Watkins Glen International Raceway. Maddie Crenshaw won the pole earlier today. Starts on the pole position. Still looking for her first win on the year, 36 in the points. She will make it in the top 35 leaving today after dropping a spot down to 36 in the points. She'll be in the original 35th in the standings cut line. She is alongside P Albanus, who comes in this race third in the standings. Reggie Fogelman in row number 2. Fogelman comes into this race 26 in the points. And Ricky Cervantes gained 10 spots up to 17th in points after picking up his first win on the season last week at Phoenix. As there's the rest of your lineup that looks identical to qualifying this morning. Make sure everybody's rolling off. Looks like that is indeed the case. So here are your points coming into this race while we are getting ready to go green flag racing here at the Glen. Alexander Underwood is the points leader by 16 points over Cody Goforth. Rookie points leader is P Albanus, who starts on the outside of the front row. He's third in the standings. 31 back is the gal that's second in the Rookie of the Year standings. That would be Sarah Redmond after losing the rookie points lead last week at Phoenix. She is fourth in the standings. Skylar Taylor is fifth. Bradley Reim sixth. J Ard seventh. D Monroe third in the Rookie of the Year standings. And eighth, Kyler Anderson, defending series champion, and ninth. And Josh Harmon will complete the top 10. As Maddie Crenshaw's got some type of issue. And I don't know what's going on with the Orbit machine. This is going to be a no start, I can guarantee you that. Yeah, they are going to wave off the start. Hold on. All right, so looks like everybody has not had any issues so far. They did wave off the start. It was like no start. No, they weren't going to start the race without Maddie Crenshaw, who was stalled in the S's. So there you go. She started slowing down like something was wrong with the car, so that's why Red Bull GT officials said no start. No, they were not going to start with that car sitting on the racetrack. So that's why the flagman shook his head and said no start. So the start was waved off. They got whatever the issue was fixed on Maddie Crenshaw, and we should be good to go green flag racing this time by. That would completely be an unfair advantage if Maddie Crenshaw did not start this race. So that is why Red Bull GT officials waved off the start so they can get the 36 car going. Looks like the 04's got an issue. Don't know what's up with the 04 machine. 04 was going to start last anyway, so as we're going to go ahead and get this sim forward. Not sure what's wrong with Andrew Williams' car. Of course, he was going to start last anyway. We'll see if there is a tire issue. As we're going to come take the green flag here. Andrew Williams is going to come to pit road. We don't know what the issue is on that 04 machine, but we'll find that out in just a minute. Green flag's in the air. We're underway here at the Glen. As here comes Andrew Williams diving into the pits with some type of problem. Hopefully he's not out of the race. Looks like a tire went down. Okay. If it's a tire problem, I don't see that being an issue, since Andrew Williams was going to start last anyway, so. But he's really going to need a caution, I can guarantee you that, as he's now crossed the line, so now everybody's taking the start. But Andrew Williams is off, is already behind the 8 ball already, as we're going through the inner loop for the first time of 27 green flag laps. First lap for Matty Crenshaw, as the 04 is up to speed now as he's entering the inner loop. Leader's just coming off of turn number 1. '06 has a problem. Uh-oh. That's Timo Mauser who's in trouble. Something happened to Timo. Let's see. I forgot to mention we have no caution, so whatever happens, happens. Oh, we got sent into the sand. So there was an incident. Looks like Luna Farmer must have got on the curb and spun the 06 around. And into the wall went Timo Mauser. Boy, Timo did not need this. So Mauser doesn't even complete a lap before he's got in trouble. Remember, no cautions means whatever happens, happens. As Andrew Williams is going to improve his time. You see the skid marks through the inner loop, so we did not get away with that incident. Mauser's now 1 lap down as a result of this. Oh, contact between Cody Goforth, and that's Eric Alpha making contact. Luna Farmer is making his debut. Oh, Brooke Packett's in trouble. And Addison Peterson. Oh, the one thing Addie did not need. Let's take a look at a replay here. Go up to the 9, see what happens to these two. It's like Addie got on the curb and nowhere for Brooke Packett to go and took both cars into the tire wall. That's some pretty significant damage to the 16 machine. Peterson did continue on. Well, she's limping. As looks like Mauser's getting ready to rejoin the race, although he's going to be off the pace, as he's now 2 laps down. So already early trouble for a couple of drivers who really didn't need this. 2 go-or-go-homers, Mauser and Packett. Packett 46th in the points, Mauser 43rd in points. That's something those two did not need to have happen, as Packett's now on pit road. As the 04 has just gotten around. Also, Annie is on pit road. As Peterson 33rd in the points. Did not need this. And Packett is out of the race. Too much front end damage on the machine. Addison Peterson will go a lap down as a result. There's Timo Mauser, as they did get the damage fix on his 02 machine. That's a tough break for Mauser. He's now down a lap. Addison Peterson has rejoined the race. So Peterson will still be in the race. Although she will be one lap down as a result. Uh-oh, J Ard's in trouble. J Ard in trouble. Was running 28th at the time. Something mechanical on the Muscle Milk Jaguar. He is teleported to pit road. Boy, he didn't need this either. And the caution is out. And I think it's for J Ard. What a big break for Andrew Williams, who was in danger of going a lap down. And the caution is out for the first time today. I thought the yellow was going to come out sooner or later, but... Well, the good news is we already know what caused the yellow, so we don't need to go jump back and look at a replay to see what happened to Sean. That is a tough break for Sean, but a huge break for Andrew Williams, who had a flat tire, was about to get put a lap down soon. He could have not timed that caution more perfectly. There he is. And we already saw what happened to Brooke Packett, Addison Peterson, and Timo Mauser, so no need to jump back and look at a replay to see what happened to those three, because we've already did that. As Andrew Williams has taken the caution, now he's going to try to catch up to the pace car and crew. They're right now heading for the inner loop. They're coming out of the S's right now. Since we've already looked back at a replay to see what caused the first caution of the day, which is no need for that, why don't we go ahead and take the opportunity to go ahead and step away for a commercial break. On the other side of the break, we'll bring you the restart here when the Red Bull GT Series Racing from the Glen returns on the Blue Hedgehog TV. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Blue Hedgehog TV's coverage of the Watkins Glen race, round 19 of Season 4 of the Red Bull GT Series. And I also have my three friends up here in the booth with me. Daniel is here at Watkins Glen, New York, upstate New York. We already documented the only driver out of the race is Brooke Packett after she got tangled with Addison Peterson and Timo Mauser. And unlike Papyrus, this is single file restart. That means the 9 and the 06 are going to hope for attrition later in this race. 39 drivers on the lead lap. J Ard, whatever the issue was on that number 6 machine, they've got it fixed, got him sent back out, and stayed on the lead lap. That's critical for Sean, who comes into this race 28th in the points, former winner this season. While we're going back to green, let's look up former winners here at Watkins Glen, shall we? As we ran here twice last season, or Season 2, Season 3. I'm going to go ahead and mute that. You don't need to hear that. The inaugural winner is in this field, Kyler Anderson. He drove the number 7 machine. We debuted this track back in Season 2. It was race number 17. So Kyler Anderson, the inaugural winner in Season 2, as I got something... okay, I thought I had something up, but apparently I was just seeing things. And the defending winner of this race, is he in the field or is he not in the field? The car is in the field, by the way. I'm going to double check. He is not in the field. That is Samad Oskin. The car that he drove is in the field. That is driven by Timo Mauser. We're back to green. So Kyler Anderson, our only former winner at the Glen in the field. The only one not in the field, defending winner of this race, that would be the Samad Oskin, which you will see Samad Oskin later in the season. Crenshaw leads as we're on with 20 to go, 19 to go next time by. Let's find out where our points leader is. Our points leader, as I need to go back to the points. So we've had our first caution of the day. Alexander Underwood running in 5th. The guy who was trying to run him down for the points lead, Cody Goforth, running in 29th, comes in this race 2nd in the points. And as I said, caution's out for the 2nd time today. I was going to say 39 cars still on the lead lap, but probably not going to be for longer. Yellow out for the 2nd time today. We'll see who this involves in just a second as we're racing it back to the yellow flag, our 2nd of the day on lap number 9. Don't know who it's for. Hopefully Timo Mauser can have a rebounding day or try to make next week's race at Talladega. As there's the caution for Matty Crenshaw. Emma Kaiser is the reason for the caution. Don't know about Addison Peterson, though. So it looks like it was our former winner this season, Emma Kaiser, the reason for the yellow. And Kaiser came in this race 25th in the points. Boy, she didn't need this either. So caution's out for the 2nd time today. We're finally going to see our first replays of the day. Let's see what happened to Emma Kaiser. And this is what happened to Emma Kaiser is we're going through turn number 1. Looks like Sebastian Palmer did the exact same thing we saw earlier on with the 9. And right into the tire wall goes the 49 machine of Emma Kaiser. Just stuffed it in the tire wall. And as I said, Emma Kaiser came in this race 25th in the points. She was a total of 49 points ahead of the 35th in the standings cut line. She'll still stay in the top 35, but she really did not need this poor finish. So the caution's out for the 2nd time today here at Watkins Glen. Let's head back to the restart here in upstate New York. Getting ready to go back to green on lap number 12 of 27 as we're going to be getting the closer to the midway point of the race. Top 10 as we go back to green. Matty Crenshaw is the leader. Chad Former in 2nd, Ponzo Albanus in 3rd, Alexander Underwood 4th with Reggie Fogelman in 5th. Dana Monroe, the highest rookie in 2nd highest rookie because Ponzo Albanus is the highest rookie. Of course, Jonathan Wong 7th. Logan Williams 8th, 9th is rookie Cervantes, and J Ard completes the top 10. Want to go ahead and make this quick announcement for anyone curious about Red Bull GT Series, now that we're on the subject of this series. This series is going to be having a Season 5. However, it is not going to be like I did, have a quick off season and start the next season. Red Bull GT Series is not going to start until after the WRA Oreo Cup Series season ends. So it'll be sometime later in 2026. Do not have a specific date on signups for next season. Do not have any anything as far as that's concerned. I will have more information on when signups will be for this series. Check the World Racing Association Discord. The link will be down in the description below, along with the point standings. So that way you guys are up to date on that. I'm just going to give you guys this heads up that after this series is done, I will be focusing my attention now on the World Racing Association Series, which is the Oreo Cup Series. Also be focusing on Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup for Season 2. All the information, as I said, will be in the World Racing Association Discord. The link is down in the description below. Emma Kaiser's out of the race, joins Brooke Packett back behind the wall. Brooke Packett, by the way, checked and released from the infield care center. Even though she drove the car away, she still had to climb into the golf cart, the medical wagon or medical cart, so they can take her to the infield care center, and she has been checked and released. Maddie Crenshaw in the 36 machine. Maddie Crenshaw was announced this week coming into Watkins, Glen. It has been announced that Maddie Crenshaw will be more than likely focusing on becoming the competition director at Cervantes Motorsports, which means she will not be returning to the Red Bull GT Series next season. But she wants to finish this season as best she can and try to get as many trips to victory lane as possible. Even though she's 36th in the points table, she will leapfrog Jared Johnson, who's out of the series. She was only 3 points back of 35th in the standings, the original 35th in the standings. But because with all the drivers now out of the series, once the 7 and the 20 fall outside the top 35, then we'll go back to the original 35th in the standings cut line as far as that is concerned. Had 7 drivers miss the show. A couple of them are going to really take some hits in the standings, even though it's not going to matter anyway. Maddie Crenshaw puts lap 13 on in the books, works on lap number 14 of 27. Chaz Farmer, not really sure what's going to happen to Chaz Farmer as far as the future is concerned for this channel. Was released by Zachary Taylor, who's been now banned from the World Racing Association. So Chaz's future is very much in doubt for next season on whether or not he's going to be returning. There's Dana Monroe running in 5th. Dana Monroe is expected to return to the Red Bull GT Series, but like I said, don't know what ride, don't know what car she will be in for Season 5. Reggie Fogelman running in 5th now. Ponzo Albanus, the rookie points leader, running in 6th. Where is the gal that's trying to run him down for the rookie points lead? That would be Sarah Redmond. Sarah Redmond is running in 14th. Luna Farmer making her debut, running in 33rd. Not the debut she was hoping for. It is also announced that, or rumored that, Luna Farmer is going to be in this car for next season. That's if you believe the rumors that are going on. We're just past the halfway point, by the way, in this race. So we'll have to see what happens. There's Addison Peterson, the Season 2 champ, not the day she was hoping for. Addison Peterson comes into this race 33rd in the point. She was only a mere 2 points ahead of the 35th in the standings cut line. I don't know what situation this is gonna put her in, but we'll have to wait and see. Remember, she does have that champion's provisional if needed. There's Luna Farmer making her debut, not the debut she was hoping for, running in 37th. But in all fairness to Luna Farmer, this is her first GT Series race. Of course, she runs in the Busch Series, not having the best of seasons over there. So this is kind of what I expected from Luna Farmer. But then again, you got to give an atta girl to her on just getting this car into the show. I mean, even though she's not having the run she's hoping for, you just got to give her props that she got this car into the show as she's battling with Campbell Marsh in the 64 for the all-important position. I think this is of 30-something. I think it's for the all-important position of 37th. I don't know. I'll have to check. Wait for the ticker to update. Campbell Marsh came in this race 11th in points. That's a driver who comes in this race running well in the standings. He definitely could not ill afford a poor finish, as yes, Luna Farmer is in the all-important position of 37th. We're being told the 5 is a lap down. That's Skylar Taylor. Not sure what's up. Uh-oh. Skylar Taylor's in trouble. Now, what has happened to the 5 machine? I'm really curious. Did not bring out the caution. Oh, that is why. I can't see it from this angle. Let's go to helicopter. Looks like she got turned by Annie Crenshaw. Yes, she did. And it's gonna... Oh, I think it's gonna put her in the wall, isn't it? Yep. Put her in the wall there. She has now fallen a lap down as a result. That's not good for Skylar, because she came in this race 5th in the points. She was a driver also running very well in the points. She could not afford a poor finish here today. So a couple of drivers running very well in the standings really didn't need this. Addison Peterson moves up to 38, so she definitely got more attrition. And the bad part for Skylar Taylor, that did not bring out a caution, I'd like to remind you all. So tough break for Skylar Taylor. Came this race 5th in the points. That's the points leader, Alexander Underwood, right behind Matty Crenshaw. Matty Crenshaw has led the most laps today. And the thing is, Matty Crenshaw has already clinched another bonus point for leading the most laps, so this is definitely going to get her possibly away from that 35th in the standings cut line after today, regardless if she wins this race or not. Chaz Farmer running in 3rd. Dana Monroe, Reggie Fogman, Ponzo Albanus, Jonathan Wong, Jesse Art. Sarah Redmond has cracked the top 10. And it looks like Shyla Askraov is about to do the same. And remember, Sarah Redmond's trying to run down Ponzo Albanus for the points lead. So Ponzo Albanus is looking like Ponzo's down to 6. Redmond's up to 9th. So it looks like Ponzo Albanus is going to keep the rookie points lead heading into next week at Talladega. Reminder, we will have We will have go or go home and pole day qualifying on. We'll have. Let me start that over. We'll have go or go home qualifying and pole qualifying at 10 at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. local, and then at 1 o'clock Eastern, or no, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll have our 20th race of the season as we're heading to Talladega Super Speedway with these GT cars. As Alexander Underwood, Chaz Farmer having a nice little battle. Season has started to wind down a bit in regards to next season. That will be next week. Of course, since the Oreo Cup Series is done with their season. Coming up this weekend, we got speaking of restrictor plate racing, that's what we have for all three series. We have the regular season finale for all three series. For Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup, they'll be at two different locations. The Trucks will be at Daytona for the regular season finale. J Ard, we know, is, I believe, going to possibly could be one of the 10 drivers locked into the chase for the championship at Daytona. That would be, by the way, on Friday. April racing for Busch and Winston Cup, Saturday and Sunday as we finish up the regular season for all three series. And then we keep the restrictor plate racing going. We'll be at Talladega next week for the Red Bull GT Series. And then head to the Windy City as we stay in the Midwest. We have Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup Series coming your way from Chicagoland Speedway as we start the playoffs. So we look forward to that. Then the following week is going to be a different story. We're going to have the Red Bull GT Series race on Saturday. The following week, we're going to have Red Bull GT Series share a weekend instead of it having it being spaced out. They will have some extra days to prepare, as there'll be Red Bull GT Series on Saturday, Winston Cup on Sunday, as we have we'll be at Darlington Raceway for Red Bull GT Series. You'll see Go or Go Home qualifying on qualifying on Friday. Red Bull GT Series racing on Saturday. As the caution is out, this might end the race. I'll go ahead and finish this up. And then the Winston Cup Series on Sunday. And this girl right here, Maddie Crenshaw, is going to be in a must-win situation this weekend. So she's going to have to hope for a win. As the caution is out, we took the caution with 4 to go. I don't know if we'll get back to green. And I don't know who Nathan Orman is the reason for the yellow. Look at the black smoke erupt on that Corvette. Oh, boy. Definitely not what Nathan Orman needed. Although, in all fairness to him, he is below the 35th in the standings cut line because remember, he's started on 0 points. Not the finish he was hoping for, as the caution is out for the third time today, as Skylar Taylor did get back in the race. Let's quickly jump back, look at a replay to find out what happened to Ormy Bear, and then we'll get to and then we'll see if we're going to go back to green or not. Well, apparently I was told this didn't bring out the caution. But Nathan Orman, running 19th at the time, got loose through the inner loop. Gets on the grass. Remember, the sun has been out since pole day qualifying because we had cloudy conditions for the go or go home qualifying session, and Ormy just got in the sand and ran into the wall. But that didn't bring out the yellow. That's what puzzles me the most. What really did bring out the yellow? We're gonna go fast forward here with the pace card. There's where the yellow comes out. I think it was because Ormy was trying to get back on the Ormy was trying to get back on the track. Okay. And as he was trying to get back on the track, that's when Red Bull GT officials had no choice but to throw the caution out. So the yellow was for Nathan Orman. Tough break for Nathan Orman, running 19th at the time of this incident through no fault of his own, just made one simple mistake, and unfortunately he's going to be out of this race. As that was the yellow for the third time today. Let's get to the restart here at the Glen. Looks like we're going to have a green-white checker to finish off today's race. Nathan Orman is now out of the race. He will join the two ladies, Kaiser and Packett, back behind the wall. I noticed the 64 is one lap down. That would be Campbell Marsh. Not entirely sure what happened to Campbell Marsh. Bianchi is also one lap down, so I don't know what happened to those guys. Not entirely sure what happened to those drivers. Unfortunately, that's going to take him out of contention. And the bad news for Bianchi, he was 16th in points. Campbell Marsh, we talked about him. He was 11th in the points standings. I don't know why they're a lap down, one or more laps down. That's a tough break for those drivers, as right now only 3 cars out of the 42 that started this race will unfortunately fail to finish. So the green will come out, then the white and the checker flag. If the caution were to come out at any point between the leaders after the leaders get the green and the white comes out, the race will end under the yellow. As I was having a peanut butter cookie, if y'all don't mind. Getting ready to go back to green. 2 to go when we take the green flag. Tough break for Lucci and Bianchi and a couple of other drivers who are running very well in the earlier part of this race. Green flag back in the air for what will be the final restart of the day. Alexander Underwood's going to take the lead from Matty Crenshaw. There's our first lead change we've had all race. As Matty Crenshaw led the most laps today. Loses the race lead when it matters the most. And Alexander Underwood came into this race as the points leader. And Underwood looking for his second win of the year. Remember, he is the points leader coming into this race. He will no doubt keep the points lead heading into next week. And, of course, the guy who was trying to run him down for the points lead, Cody Goforth, going to finish is currently in 23rd. Remember, he is second in the points table. Once Alexander Underwood takes the white flag right there, that means we will race back no matter what happens on this last lap of the race, sponsored by Credit One Bank. We'll throw the disclaimer at the end of the video. I haven't forgotten it yet. Through the S's for the final time. Alexander Underwood capitalizes on Maddie Crenshaw's one mistake. She's dropped down the fourth. As this is the first time Maddie Crenshaw has been in traffic. And remember, she's going into the Winston Cup Series race in a must-win situation this weekend. Caution is out. It doesn't matter. The caution is out, but it doesn't matter because we already took the white flag. So we are racing it back to the checker flag. Caution is out. We'll figure out who was involved in the incident. And Alexander Underwood is going to win at the Glen for his second win on the season. The question is, why is the yellow out? Trying to see, there is somebody on pit road, and it's Timo Mauser. Takashi's in trouble. Oh boy. That's a tough break for Kasumi Takashi. Before we get to your official finish results, let's jump back and see what happened to Takashi and Mauser as the yellow flag is out while Alexander Underwood heads to victory lane here at Watkins Glen. Well, this is what happened to Takashi here. Looks like she's going to probably put Timo Mauser out of her misery. Just hooks the 06, sends Mauser off the course, and Mauser's going to go slamming into the wall. And that's why the caution came out, and Takashi is also stuck into the wall there. And Aston Peterson came to pit road for some reason. I want to see what the reason was. Got a penalty. That's why. Well, that just took her out of contention. Here it is again. Just hooked the 06. Sent both of them into the tire wall. Pretty hard hit for those two drivers. And that will definitely end their day just like that. So that's what brought out the final caution of the day. Let's go ahead and take you to your official finish results here at the Glen. And welcome back here, as I did save the results. So we're all good to go here at the Glen. But Alexander Underwood is the victor today. Good win for him. Chaz Farmer is going to come away with second. Farmer came into this race, if I can find the 34, he dropped 7 spots after last week's race at Phoenix. He will jump himself back into the top 20 in the standings. Dana Monroe was the highest of the rookies. She will come away at third. She also got her second top 5. She also will gain some points on Ponzo Albanus in terms of the Rookie of the Year is concerned. So she'll stay in the top 10 of the points leaving today. Maddie Crenshaw led the most laps. Has to settle for 4. Tough break for her. Looking like she had the car to beat. And she'll end up salvaging. Will have to settle for 4th. Reggie Fogelman will get 5th. Good run for Reggie Fogelman. Reggie came into this race 3 spots down to 26 in the points. He'll move his way through the standings. Didn't talk much about Shyla Askraov in the 07. A quiet run for the Kyrgyzstan driver. And she was 15th in the points table coming into this race. So this will keep her climb through the points. May get herself into the top 10 of the points leaving today. Ponzo Albanus, the rookie points leader, in 7th. He didn't gain any ground on Alexander Underwood, who won the race. But he'll stay in the top 10 of the points. In 7th, good run for him. Logan Williams will get 8th. Good run for Logan. Drop 4 spots down to 14th in the points. This will put him back in the top 10 of the standings. Andrew Williams will get a 10th place result. Andrew was 38th in the points. So we'll have to see where this is going to situate him. J Ard Sandwich in the middle of the Williams brothers. She comes home in the 9th position. She came into this race 7th in points, so she'll stay in the top 10 in the standings. And as I mentioned, Andrew Williams comes away with 10th. I do not know if this will get him back in the top 35. It will be a start. I know Matty Crenshaw did, as far as that's concerned. How about Matthew Huber? Having a difficult season, really outside the top 35, 47th to be exact. Gets a solid run in 11th. Jonathan Wong gets 12th. Sarah Redmond, 2nd in the Rookie of the Year standings in 13th. Trinity Lee and Danny Johnson will complete your top 15. Looking on, top 20 was completed by Elena Aurora, Kyler Anderson, Kyle Langland, Ricky Cervantes, and Sean Art. Look on down to the remainder of the finishing results. As a lot of drivers really just didn't have the finishes they were hoping for. Henrietta Fitzwater, 23rd. I thought she was going to be a lot better road racer than 23rd. I can guarantee you that. And this is not going to help her any at all. But the good news, bad news is, the bad news is Henrietta Fitzwater might find herself on the outside of the top 35. The good news is, remember, she's going to go by John Smith the fourth, Jochen Schmidt, and of course Jochen Schmidt and Jochen Smith, who've been out of the series for quite some time, since it's the 4th race since they've been gone after Sonoma. So I don't know where this is going to put her as far as 23rd is concerned. Cody Goforth, 2nd in points, 25th. He's going to definitely take a hit in the standings. Luna Farmer was the last driver to finish on the lead lap. That's a shame, because she was really, really glad to put that car in the show. Unfortunately, just didn't get a good qualifying effort and basically never recovered after that. But props to her for getting that 56 in the show, as she was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Kasumi Takashi did not reach the conclusion of this race after getting involved in an incident. She has been checked and released from the infield care center, along with Tima Mauser, who also did not reach the conclusion of this race. So you could definitely technically say 5 drivers did not reach the conclusion of the race. Bianchi, Addison Peterson, Campbell Marsh, Skylar Taylor all finished 1 or more laps down. And then joining Mauser and Takashi that did not reach the conclusion of the race, Nathan Orman, a header from his wreck in the S's that brought out our late yellow flag that happened in the closing stages of this race. He'll finish in 39th. And as I mentioned, Timo Mauser crashed out. Of course, he did not reach the conclusion of the race. And then they joined Emma Kaiser and Brooke Packett, who've gone behind the wall and now the race, as they also did not reach the conclusion of the race. So I can tell you this is going to really shake up the points. I can guarantee you that. But the only thing that's not going to shake up, Ponzo Albanese will still be the rookie points lead. He'll extend his gap a little bit, but lose some ground to Dana Monroe in the rookie of the year standings. As far as the overall is concerned, Alexander Underwood came in this race as the points leader. He will remain the points leader heading into next week at Talladega Super Speedway. But if you're Matty Crenshaw, Jesse Art, Sean Art, and company, you better be worried about this weekend for reasons that you should be worried about, because it's the regular season finale for Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup Series at Daytona and April, respectively. We're going to find out who will be the 10, 12, and 16 drivers that will lock themselves a spot into this season's chase for the championship. These drivers will head to Talladega next week. We also have Chicagoland next week for Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup Series as we begin the playoffs for all 3 series. Hope you'll tune in for that. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become a part of the World Racing Association crew today. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association and the Blue Hedgehog TV for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmit or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association and the Blue Hedgehog TV is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV, I want to thank you fans for your continued support. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. We've shown you your full finisher results. Up next will be the race at Talladega. Your points going into Talladega down in the description heading in next week. We'll see you guys Friday from Daytona International Speedway for the regular season finale for the Craftsman Truck Series. As PCS race tenure this year is slowly coming to a tearful end, and you know how much emotional I'm going to definitely be. So we'll see you guys then. Until then, I'm D DeVos saying good afternoon and good night from Watkins, Glen, as you've been watching another broadcast of the World Racing Association of Race Racing since 2013. And until we see you Friday, arrivederci, everybody.